Nurturing your child's brain health through mindful daily choices fosters their emotional strength, focus, and ability to navigate life's challenges with greater ease. Have you ever felt that quiet ache in your chest after another tough day? Wondering why your little one's outbursts or worries seem to linger no matter how hard you try? It's that moment when you're tucking them in, and their small face looks so vulnerable, making you question if there's more you could be doing. You're not alone in this. Many parents carry that same weight, pouring love into every effort without seeing the shift they hope for. But here's the gentle truth. What if the key lies in something deeper, like supporting the very foundation of how their young mind works? Change is within reach, and it starts with small, compassionate steps that honor their growing world. Let's begin by embracing the idea that your child's feelings and actions are deeply tied to how their brain is developing. This isn't about labeling issues. It's about seeing the whole picture with kindness. Imagine a morning where your toddler resists getting dressed, leading to tears and frustration for both of you. Often, this stems from their brain still learning to handle transitions, where overwhelming signals can spark big reactions. As parents, we can respond by pausing to connect first, perhaps kneeling down to their level and acknowledging their feelings with a soft voice. In doing so, your child learns that emotions are safe to express, building trust that helps their brain form calmer pathways over time. Next, consider the power of helping your child appreciate their brain as a precious part of who they are. Think of playtime in the backyard, where they're giggling and exploring, but suddenly a disagreement with a sibling turns heated. This might happen because their developing brain is practicing social cues, and fatigue or overstimulation can tip the balance. Instead of jumping straight to correction, guide them gently by naming the feeling together, like saying, "It looks like you're feeling upset because sharing feels hard right now." This teaches them emotional awareness, wiring their brain to recognize and manage those moments, fostering a sense of inner security that grows with each interaction. Another principle centers on spotting everyday influences that might quietly challenge your child's brain without us realizing. Picture leaving the house for a family outing, and your young one clings tightly, showing signs of unease that build into a meltdown. This could arise from subtle disruptions like irregular routines, disrupting their brain's need for predictability, making the world feel unpredictable. We can shift this by creating simple, consistent signals before departures, such as a special goodbye ritual that involves a hug and a shared word. Through this, your child absorbs the lesson that change can be gentle, strengthening their brain's adaptability and reducing those anxious spikes. Now let's reflect on nourishing your child's brain through what they eat, as it plays such a vital role in their daily energy and mood. Envision dinner time around the table, where picky eating leads to negotiations and everyone ends up weary. Behind this, their brain might be craving steady fuel to maintain even emotions, but processed snacks can create ups and downs that amplify fussiness. Respond differently by involving them in choosing colorful fruits or veggies, perhaps turning it into a quiet discovery of how these foods help them feel strong inside. What they learn is a connection between body and feelings, empowering their brain to crave balance and building habits that support joyful family meals. Encouraging movement as a natural way to energize their brain comes next, offering a path to release and clarity. Recall those afternoons when your child bounces endlessly off the walls, their energy spilling into impulsive actions that test your patience. This often signals their brain seeking outlets to process the day's inputs, where sitting still too long builds internal pressure. We can guide this by weaving in short, fun activities like a gentle walk or playful dancing together, framing it as time to shake out the wiggles. In these moments, your child discovers how motion calms their mind, enhancing their brain's ability to focus and respond thoughtfully, which deepens your bond through shared laughter. Setting thoughtful boundaries around digital time is another key insight, protecting their brain's space for imagination and rest. Think about evenings when winding down turns into battles over devices, leaving your little one wired and resistant to sleep. This behavior might trace back to screens overstimulating their brain's reward centers, making quiet time feel empty by comparison. As parents, we can introduce cozy alternatives like reading a book side by side or stargazing, easing into limits with understanding rather than abruptness. Your child then learns the value of downtime, allowing their brain to recharge and cultivate creativity, which nurtures a resilient spirit ready for real-world connections. Finally, prioritize rest and recovery as essential for their brain's quiet growth, weaving it into your family's rhythm. Imagine bedtime routines where protests drag on, stemming from a brain that's still buzzing from the day's adventures and needing cues to settle. This is common as young minds process experiences overnight, but inconsistent signals can prolong the struggle. Respond with a soothing sequence, like dim lights and a whispered story, helping them associate these with comfort. Through this, they internalize that rest renews them, fortifying their brain against daily stresses and teaching emotional regulation that echoes into their future self. As we explore these principles, it's natural for doubts to surface, like wondering if tuning into their brain's needs means overlooking boundaries, or fearing that changes might initially heighten challenges. Rest assured, this approach isn't about leniency. It's about building from a place of empathy, where structure feels supportive rather than rigid. Many parents worry, what if focusing on connection makes me seem too soft? Yet, in truth, it equips your child with tools to thrive independently, easing those fears as you witness their growing confidence. And if things feel more intense at first, remember that's often the sign of adjustment, like a muscle strengthening. Patience here reveals lasting harmony. Looking ahead, this way of parenting cultivates a relationship rooted in mutual understanding, where control gives way to collaboration. Your child blossoms not through force, but through the steady nourishment of their inner world, leading to days filled with more ease and fewer storms. Try starting tomorrow with one mindful moment, perhaps during a routine like breakfast, simply noticing and affirming something positive about how they're engaging with the world. In time, you'll see the quiet transformation, a testament to the love you're investing in their foundation.